Since I'm already in my little corner and I can't sleep, I'm just going to do a review of the final Strife. I already did a review on my page, but it was just like a written review. It wasn't like a visual review. But basically, this book is about this girl that is swapped at birth. She has red blood, and red bloods in this society are like the top of the pyramid. Blue bloods are in the middle of the pyramid. They're called dusters. And at the bottom of the pyramid, it's the ghostings. And they have clear blood. Ghostings led this rebellion against the embers. So they have been mutilated of their tongues and some of their limbs, so they talk in sign language. Dusters are kind of treated a little bit better, but they're still treated really poorly. And then Ember is top of the society. So there was the Duster Rebellion where Duster family switched out 12 children, and some of them were of Ember nobility. And Scylla, the main character, is one of the Duster children that was swapped out at birth. And she is trained by this secret organization to basically take down the government. And the way that they have the plan to take down the government in this society is through a set of trials that occur every 10 years. And these trials are meant to determine who is going to be the leaders for the next 10 years. So anybody that's of Ember blood can participate in these trials, and Scylla is supposed to participate in the trials, but the day that she's supposed to sign up, she ends up getting really drunk and really high, and she ends up breaking into the girl that she got swapped at birth with palace room, and she confronts her. Like, she doesn't confront her about anything, but she just wants to see who she is. And the girl ended up trapping her in a blood trap. Scylla didn't know how to like really use blood magic, so this is like all new to her. So she ends up missing the sign-ups, and now she has to train the girl that she got swapped at birth with to compete in these trials in order for her to basically be the plant that takes down the government in this society. I was very skeptical the first like 100 to 200 pages because it's very meaty world building. But this felt like a whole season of like Netflix, Hulu, HBO series. If this were to get like an HBO budget, it would be really good. And I just fucking loved it because it's so layered, and it was slow burn, and going through the trials and getting to know all the characters and all the subtle things the author does. Like, there's just one scene that just got me, because they talk about Akoma. I think that's how you say it. It might not be, but it's Akoma. And in this book, it's like the jugular, and one of the characters calls that to another character, and they're supposed to be in love. It's John and Scylla. And then they're training these other two characters. Scylla and another character are training, and it gets like the girl gets the knife close to the jugular, and you realize that like they're starting to fall in love, because like Akoma means like that's the person that you're meant to be with. Like, that's your lifeblood. That's your ride or die. So then they're training, and then the knife gets like close to the neck, and you're just like, oh my god. Like, it's subtle storytelling, things like that all throughout the book. And like it's very show not tell. It's like a lot of feelings are embedded into the descriptions of things, and as you're reading, you're just like, you're picking up on little things, and you're like, maybe this is queer bait, but it's not queer bait. You have a whole bisexual love triangle in this book, and if I had fucking known that, I would have picked this shit up a lot sooner, because bisexual love triangle. I'm tired of seeing these love triangles where it's like one girl two men. Both of them are fighting for her love and attention. It's like, why choose, ma'am? But then having like a bisexual love triangle, I'm like, that's so different. I'm like, I actually want to see who she picks though. I don't really like, this was a 5 out of 5 for me. I think I was gonna rate it like 4.5 to 4 depending on the ending, but that ending really geared up those last like 100 to 150 pages that I was like, this was it. And I'm so excited to read the second one. The third one comes out later this year. And like the way she builds layer upon layer upon layer until you get to the ending is just so satisfying. Because like most of the time when you're reading, you're just like, oh, okay, I'm getting new information, I'm getting new information, I'm getting new information. So then what she does in this story is like, you're getting new information and you're kind of disregarding it because you're just like, oh, this is probably just like info dumping. But no, the whole time she's building to the freaking climax from page 1, and the entire time you're just like, wait, I was like, whoa, okay. I do think this one, you have to pay attention like the first 100 to 150 pages to even like 200 pages if you're not much of a fantasy reader, because the first like 200 pages can be a little bit meaty with world building, but after that it gets like really interesting, and that's when like all the love story and like the love triangles start panning out, and you're just like, oh, what's gonna happen with the trials, what's gonna happen with the love triangle. And there's just always this sense of like impending danger, because Scylla is in such a like endangered situation where she can probably be unalived at any moment. And this follows 3 different characters. I wrote it down right here. So it basically follows a ghosting, and the ghosting, like I said, they've been mutilated at birth and they do sign language in order to speak. So talk about disability rap. Then you have Anur, who is the sapphic dusting or duster love interest, and it's just like Anur, like at first I didn't really like her, but that was because I was seeing it from like Silas' skewed perspective of the world and of how Anur was raised. And then you get to know Anur's character and you're just like, wait, I'm on Silas' side, but I'm also on Anur's side, because Anur is just like, she's just trying to live her best life, and she's been through it, and her mother just treats her poorly. And then Scylla is an ember. She is a mess in distress. She has a drug addiction. She's bisexual. It's just all the representation in this is just amazing to me. I do think there are like trigger warnings that people should be aware of. I think there's definitely trigger warnings that people should be aware of. This is definitely mature content. This is definitely like dictatorship, like stuff happens to characters and people are punished in this society. And like I said, the ghosters were mutilated at birth because of the ghosters in the past did a rebellion. So you gotta realize that like it's a little graphic. And then there's like a whole like there's like 2 scenes, I think, where they put somebody on a table and they tie their limbs together and they slowly pull their limbs apart. So if I would like either really fast forward through those scenes, or if that's not the book for you, then that's not the book for you. I just want to kind of like warn you ahead of time. I enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was interested from page 1, but I was very like, okay, I need to put this down. This is a lot of meat for like a short amount of time. But once I really got into it and once I got to enjoying it, I just love this. And this is going to be my whole personality for like the next 2-3 months until this 3rd book comes out and I finish this series, because I really want to get into the second one. Have a good day, everybody.